الصيام كما كتب على الذين قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Allah has prescribed fasting in order to achieve taqwa, in order to achieve God consciousness. So, put in your minds, for Muslims, Ramadan is literally less than 10 days away now. Put in your minds, I am going to achieve taqwa, but how? How can I achieve God consciousness by Ramadan? What are the specific mechanisms of achieving taqwa in Ramadan? Number one, the fasting itself is the ultimate expression of sabr and control. Because when you fast, you are literally conquering your animal instincts, your basic needs for food and water, and you will say, I am pleasing Allah over and above my actual needs to survive. What greater sign of Iman is there than to give up food and drink, especially when you're hot, you're sweating, especially when you eat and you say, no, I will give that up for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The mere act of fasting is bringing about amount of taqwa. Number two, increase in Quran. Every single day, be realistic, O Muslims. Those of you that are students, perhaps you cannot spend 2 hours reading the Quran every single day in Ramadan. Don't let Shaytan come to you and say, if I cannot spend the whole juz, I'm going to give up. No, you do what you can. Reading some Quran is better than reading no Quran. Reading half a juz is infinitely better than reading no juz. Reading 1 page is better than reading nothing. Look at your schedule and put into it daily an amount of Quran. Make your Ramadan productive by reading the Quran every single day. The month of Ramadan is the month of the Quran. Number 3, be generous extra in Ramadan. You will say, Shaykh, I'm a student, I don't have any money. And I will say, generosity is not only from money. Generosity is from your akhlaq. Generosity is from your time. Generosity is from your smile. Be nice to people, and that is being generous. The whole of Ramadan, you must be on your best akhlaq, your best manners. And that's why our Prophet even said, don't be angry when you're fasting. Control your anger when you're fasting. And that too is an act of generosity. Number 4, as a part of the routine of Ramadan, to be productive, make dua every single day, especially when you break your iftar. When you break the siyam and after your iftar. Our Prophet ﷺ said, the one who is fasting, when he makes dua at the time of iftar, Allah will never refuse his dua. So every single day, right before you break your fast, and that's the most difficult time, your stomach is growling with hunger. The samosas and pakoras wafting into your ear. Your tables are spread. What do you guys drink in Pakistan? Is ruafza.
Yes.
Some people like to go to good for you. So you have to go there. If you can concentrate with the Qur'an in front of you, you can concentrate as you go, just 2 minutes. And you raise my hand before Maghrib. Because when the alarm comes, there's no problem. Eat myself. Before Maghrib, by a few minutes, raise your hands to Allah. And remember what the Prophet said. The one who fasts, when he raises his hand before fasting, Allah will never turn his dua. So this is one of the ways to make it productive. Another way to make it productive in Ramadan is to pray every single night a shorter. In every rak'ah, but do something you don't do before Allah. Show Allah that you're trying to do something. And in that something, Allah will do extra in Ramadan every single night. Our Prophet said, whoever fasts the whole month of Ramadan shall have all of his sins forgiven. Whoever prays every night of Ramadan shall have all of his sins forgiven. So make sure, O Muslim, after Salat al-Isha, every single night, you pray something extra that you did not used to pray right now. That's one of the most important ways to have Ramadan Ramadan. And then, of course, the cream of the crop, the pinnacle, the queen of Ramadan is Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr. On the last 10 nights, you must sacrifice on those nights more than you have sacrificed in the whole year. You must do more on those 10 than you have done on any other occasion in the whole year. Even if you have an exam, then little bit more than the previous night you must do on that. I'm not saying don't study for the exam. I'm not saying fail the exam. I'm saying do more than you have done any other night. That's all I'm saying. And still study for your exam. Because Allah wants deen and dunya. Allah wants you to pass your exam, and Allah wants you to break it down, and you can do both, inshallah ta'ala. Schedule from now, and do put it into your mind, I'm going to do this, inshallah ta'ala. And brothers and sisters, most important point, and I've said this multiple times, it is not the quantity, but the quality of your actions. It is the quality. Allah knows how much time you have. Allah knows how much money you have. If you don't have that much time, but you still spend some time, that some time is more precious than the one who has all the time in the world and he spends a whole hour in Quran. Perhaps your 5 minutes of Quran is more precious than somebody else's 1 hour. So don't worry about the clock. Don't worry about the time. Worry about the quality. You do extra whatever you can and be consistent and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you barakah when you show that level of consistency. And then of course the final point, which is of course always there. Make dua to Allah to bless you with the most useful of Ramadan, the most productive of Ramadan. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah uses Ramadan to forgive all of your sins and to make it your best Ramadan. And make dua that Allah gives you many more Ramadans to come and He causes us all to return to Him in the state of Iman. O Muslims, in this great university, O Muslims who are the future of this land, I am heading out tomorrow, and Allah knows when I will come back to this city of Dhaka. So I want to conclude by telling you that inshallah ta'ala, the future of your country is bright, and that you inshallah ta'ala will carry the torch of this country. And that inshallah we are just seeing the beginning of the change that we've already seen. I'm advising all of you to do the best that you can. Our hopes are in you. O Muslims of Bangladesh, you are inspiring the rest of us. So do not disappoint yourself and do not disappoint us. Rise up to the challenge. Allah has blessed you and given you an opportunity. Come together under the banner of the kalima. Show us the izzah of Islam. Reclaim your own heritage in this land. And inshallah ta'ala, I pray that this land and all of you become beacons of light for the ummah. Shining beacons of light that the rest of us can find inspiration from. And I want to conclude